are well acquainted with the social pressure on women to conform to narrow standards of beauty, standards that elevate long legs and tiny waists and perky chests and cellulite-free bottoms to iconic status. Perhaps there was once a time when becoming a new mom offered some reprieve from the pressure to slip easily into a single-digit dress size. But that time is gone, replaced by a celebrity culture obsessed with how quickly women can eliminate any trace of pregnancy from their figures. Nerdland was very excited last week when Kerry Washington made her first official public appearance since giving birth to her daughter. Predictably, the first responses were all about how stunning she looks post-baby. But Washington pushed back a bit, telling Us magazine about being a working mom and saying, "I think we desire to live really full lives. I think we have to honor that as best we can, in whatever shape that takes." This past Sunday was the first birthday of Kim Ye baby, North, and one paper couldn't help but to point out that Kim Kardashian's 56-pound weight loss was as much a reason to celebrate as her daughter's birthday. And the perfect mom is not only meant to instantaneously fit into a small dress, she's also effortlessly meant to balance parenting, work, partnership, and community service. Thank goodness some are speaking up about how unrealistic that expectation is. This is Scandal creator Shonda Rhimes, who's the mother of 3 young daughters, discussing work and motherhood during her recent commencement address at her alma mater, Dartmouth.
Shonda, how do you do it all? The answer is this: I don't. Whenever you see me somewhere succeeding in one area of my life, that almost certainly means I am failing in another area of my life. If I am killing it on a Scandal script for work, I am probably missing bath and story time at home.
The whole table is just amening up in here. Joining the panel is Annabelle Gurwitch, who is an actor and a humorist, who's also the author of I See You Made an Effort, Compliments, Indignities, and Survival Stories from the Edge of 50. All right, for real, how is this meant to be what we have to do?
Come on, stop. And you know this because of the whole television thing, right? So when I had my daughter, a year and a half after I got my show on CNBC, and all I heard was the buzz from the background was, I wish she'd lose 10 pounds. If she don't lose 10 pounds. Guess what? She said, I'm a single parent raising a daughter with businesses. This is just going to be the way it is. And for me, I have to say, this is very much a cultural issue, and it makes me kind of nuts. There's a real assumption that you can just go like this all the time. However, in the culture that I was raised, this Afro-Caribbean culture, Latino culture, this is what happens when you have a baby because we're women, and we're not sinewy, and we're not gristly, and all of that stuff means that we take care of our family. And it doesn't mean that you're a bad woman if you shrink back into whatever you were before.
And it's a real thing. Like, even when you talk about the working out, I'm writing a column for Essence these days on parenting, and in my July column that's on newsstands right now, I talk about that expectation to have shed the pounds. Now, of course, I didn't actually have my kid, and yet that notion that we are meant to go back into these pre-pregnancy clothes, claim that breastfeeding made the weight fall off, and this kind of self-inflicted pressure, it turns out that gaining weight bothers me because it's an outward manifestation of my imperfection. Going up a dress size is a crude reminder that balancing work, travel, parenting, and marriage is hard. And it feels embarrassing when the hard shows. It's like the fact that it's hard is embarrassing to me.
I love what Shonda Rhimes said because, I always say, like, I can't have it all. I can have it some. That's what I'm looking for because I know that every part of my life it's interconnected. So you're always something's going to be sacrificed. Now, I never had a waist to begin with, so I never got the waist back. My son is 16. I still have that extra weight, but I have this different idea about whether it's media-driven or it's something else. So I know after I had my son, I went on the zone diet, right? Because I was hosting dinner and a movie at that time. And so what happened was the very first week, the first day, I called them after I ate my meals. I said, I think you haven't delivered the rest of the day's meals. They said, no, you ate that's it. Wait, I ate everything for breakfast.
That lettuce is yours. All lettuce.
The snack they gave me was a peanut and a half. I was like, what? This is it? But the thing is it wasn't, I don't think, the media driving me. It was my own idea. Is what you said, the internalization, I think, that has to do with, this is what I think, my theory, second wave feminism that told us that we could do it all.
Jonathan, I want you to jump in on that one because you actually have some research around that idea.
Well, my first book, Prozac on the Couch, looked at how it's not just internal. There actually are business practices that that play to the anxieties we're talking about. And I look at the pharmaceutical industry, for example, perpetuating this kind of psychology of attacking parents and playing to the politics of motherhood in a particular way. So, for example, in the 1960s and 1970s, when first-wave feminism was coming out, there were a host of advertisements in psychiatric journals that said, if you're a protesting feminist or you're being a bad mother, here's some Valium that your doctor can prescribe to you. And when
you sent us this one that was like about being 35 and single was representative that you clearly need Valium. And it was literally an ad to physicians saying, if you've got one of these clients, this 35 and single woman, make sure you get her some Valium.
And that ad actually comes from the leading psychiatric journal in the world, and it came out right after the kind of, you know, a woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle. Women were protesting, trying to stand up for actually the same things we're talking about on the show today.
Well, you internalize these messages. Well, in my book, I see you made an effort, which is about aging. I talk about how I grew up with the message from Clairol, you're not getting older, you're getting better. It turns out I might be getting better, but I'm getting older.
And it does feel like part of it is if you're doing that. So, you know, because we should always listen to Beyonce for a moment, let me just listen to Beyonce for one moment immediately after a May concert. Let's listen for a second. Oh, well, whoa, I'm sorry. We don't have Beyonce. But what she said was she says, y'all have no idea how hard I worked. I had to lose 60 pounds. They had me on that treadmill. I ate lettuce. Now tonight I'm going to get chocolate wasted. But if you're on a treadmill all day and eating lettuce, do you know how hard it is to be politically active? Like you're actually hungry and tired. And it does feel like it's connected to the idea of let's keep women worried about their dress size and not about their politics.
Well, and what people don't understand, I mean, my oldest child is 19. I've been blaming my weight on my kids for 19
That's right.
years. And I'm going to keep doing it, kids, by the way. It's y'all's fault. And you know why I can't lose it? Because I have 3 kids and a job. I have things to do. I don't have time to go. I have a trainer. I haven't seen him in months.
But how much of this is kind of like child foot, I mean, a Chinese foot binding? I just have to say, like, this is very much to the point of pharmaceuticals. This is a multi-billion-dollar industry that is selling you on the same page that they're showing Kim Kardashian losing all that weight. Moms, here's the new weight loss tea that you can have. And there's that, but there's also, this is a way of keeping us under control.
Also, it's unrealistic because if you measure your weight loss and your ability to lose weight after a baby by a celebrity who has a chef and who has a nutritionist and who has a trainer and who has the time, then you are literally making your life
nannies for each child.
And also sometimes it's not even that, but sometimes some women simply have different body types. So some folks may just in fact sort of display something different. But I think part of the question is the extent to which that then becomes the inherent norm of what constitutes a valuable parent. Up next, there is a billion-dollar business in bringing up baby. Just how much is that stroller in the window? Yep, that one. We're going to talk about it when we get back.